absolutely making an impact on a global scale
I'm
right
telling
now.
you, I'm telling you. And I am so excited to
Oh, me too.
introduce Mr. Silva, who, by the way, did you have an earthquake today? Because we felt it in Connecticut.
I don't know that we felt that, but we've been so busy trying to get this thing going that, even if we felt it, it did rain. It doesn't rain in LA that often, so that's worse than an earthquake around here. Light rain is worse.
All right. Well, Mr. Silver, I have to tell you that earthquake, I'm going to blame on our tech issues. And thank you for being so patient. And we are so excited to learn again with you.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. I got this crew behind me. Say hi, guys. So, in the spirit of transparency and digital citizenship, we did clean up a little bit in here. This is not totally normal for us, but we are stoked to be here and to be with you guys here today again. Just celebrating teachers who don't kind of get scared of tech and use it for good instead of trying to withhold it from the kids.
Oh yeah, and you definitely model what it looks like to just be willing to learn in a different way. So Lori and I are just going to go behind the scenes and we're going to let you take it over.
All right, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Alfredo Silva. I'm with Garden Grove Unified School District. We are in Orange County, which is in Southern California. Specifically, we're in the city of Garden Grove, and our school is Bolsa Grande High School. Behind me are a bunch of students here who are super flexible and super willing to try new things and just learn about how to give solid presentations, how to make compelling arguments, and at the end of the day, what we decided to do was apply those skills to learning about the environment and learning about this planet of ours. And so, how did we get here? We used Flip and the amazing Jaritza Vijalba, who we coordinated with to do what's called a global exchange. And so we're going to show you some video clips here that were put together by some of our students on how it works. But if there is one takeaway from today, and I hopefully get to repeat it several times throughout, it's just say yes. People are going to be trying to ask you to do new things and to maybe incorporate some new aspects of your curriculum. Just say yes. Try it a couple of times. And obviously don't say yes to anyone, but I trust Jaritza Vijalba explicitly. So when she says, hey, do you want to try this? I just say yes. And we navigate through it. And it's awkward. Your students are going to see you struggle. They're going to see you not have all the answers. But when you're trying new things, that's all part of it. And instead of having it be top down as a teacher, you guys are all in it together, and I prefer that lately. I've been teaching 23 years, and the recent tech infusion has really just made it like I'm a brand new teacher, and that feeling has kept me in the classroom. Let's take a quick look here at a couple of things the students have put together here to explain what we're doing. I'm going to show my screen here. How did we get here, and who were we working with? The awesome people at Flip. Here we go. Originally, last year, put together this thing called the Global Cultural Exchange. And in the Global Cultural Exchange, you can see the topics here. The food one was amazing. All of the multiple countries were here. You can see all these kids posting about their food. It was amazing. And then we got into things like a day in the life. And a year ago with Mary Alice, we talked about this and interviewed kids. I highly recommend you guys check that out. This year, we participated in the Global Climate Exchange. And what we're going to do today is talk about some of these things. So to talk about some of these things, I'm going to introduce you to Tiffany, to share with you about the flip exchange.
Hello, my name is Tiffany. I am from Mr. Silva's AP class, and today I'll be discussing
Mr. Silva.
what Flipgrid is all about.
Hold on.
Flipgrid is essentially a virtual classroom or
I might
community
have
space
to.
where educators can
We aren't
organize
seeing the
discussions
screen.
around specific topics. These topics can be questions,
Here we go.
prompts, assignments, or other forms of content that encourages students to engage. Hello, my name is Tiffany. I am from Mr. Silva's AP class, and today I'll be discussing what Flipgrid.
You're going to have to turn the microphone back on. Mr. Silva, we can't hear. We could in the beginning. Right, maybe I'll move around. Laura, you want to do like some
Yeah.
jump jacks with me?
Mr. Silva, we can't hear your screen. You need to unmute. I don't know if he might have us totally not on his screen right now, so we can't
Oh,
see
no.
it.
Yes, because
Yeah.
he's not muted.
Right.
Oh, no.
So we have to wait till he comes back on to tell him we can't hear him.
Okay. I want to
We could
learn.
hear it a little bit. Yes, I wanted to. Yep. Mr. Silva.
Yay!
Yes. We'll blame it on the earthquakes. That's all.
Yes, that's going to be my go-to.
That's right.
All
Hi,
right.
Mr. Silva. Can you hear us now? Mr. Silva, we can't hear you.
I have to tell you, when I've had tech issues before, I'll sing.
No, that I know that's okay. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a quick introduction. Tiffany did a great job on that, and like we wanted to do, is shine the light on the kids, right? Not have me explain everything, so that hopefully kids are watching this and equally as inspired.
Mr.
So-
Silva, we couldn't hear when you turned off your mic. We weren't able. We were in the beginning to be able to hear Tiffany, but then you must have switched something.
Oh, I muted this mic because I didn't want to talk over Tiffany, so I apologize for that.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
We're gonna so I'm just gonna leave this on and I'm gonna try not to talk so much. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. That was a walkthrough of what the flip group looks like. I want to pull up here an example of after going through that flip exchange, one of the posts that was explaining sustainable development goals. And for this example, we are going to use, let's go ahead and use Megan. Let me pull up Megan and I'll just kind of quietly sit back here. Can you see my screen, Mary Alice? Lori, can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Let's see here.
Once we see it, we'll pull it up.
I'm going to present, share screen.
You are good to go.
Hello, my name is Megan and I'm from California. Today I will be discussing the Sustainable Development Goals, otherwise known as the SDGs that the United Nations developed. This includes a total of 17 goals that benefit both the people's and the environment's health and well-being. For this video, I will be specifically elaborating on goal number 4 and 5, quality education and gender equality. Focusing first on quality education, goal number 4's purpose is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Now let's take a look at this infographic. It states that 24 million learners may never return to school by 2030, and 147 million children missed over half of in-person instruction during the COVID-19 pandemic when schools were forced to go online. These statistics clearly show a decline in education. However, education is a necessity and a right for individuals, especially adolescents, to succeed in life and live comfortably. With education, they will have more opportunities for their future and career presented to them. That is why quality education became a sustainable development goal, so that people all over the world have free access to education and have a better life. Just like Nelson Mandela said, Education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. With education, we as a society are able to achieve the other goals of sustainable development. Furthermore, having quality education will also help with having gender equality, and that leads us to goal number 5, and it has a purpose of providing equal opportunities for all and empowering women and girls. According to this infographic created by the United Nations itself, it says that the world is not on track to achieve gender equality by 2030. 1 in 5 young women are married before their 18th birthday, and nearly half of married women lack decision-making power over their sexual and reproductive health and rights. Although gender equality has been made a fundamental human right for quite some time, some countries still do not provide women equal opportunities to men, even though women make up half of the world's population, yet they are neither allowed nor provided with the resources to reach their full potential. That is why quality education is a starting point for gender equality, because it empowers not just men, but women and girls to learn, be successful, and contribute to the transformation of the world just as men do. So now you understand these two goals and how they tie into each other, but the real question still lies. Why should people care and help out? These goals' purpose is to ultimately transform our world and help people from all over the countries. These goals ensure that you, your community, and people from all over will have the necessary resources and materials to live happily, healthily, and sustainably. With these goals and the 15 other ones in the SDG, we can achieve greatness. Thank you for listening.
So, yeah, how was that? Right? All good stuff. So, next thing we want to do is walk you guys through the next step in the exchange here, which is to use this amazing gamified platform called Spring Bay Studios. Jane G, who is sort of coordinated it, they're in Ontario, Canada. They were great in terms of helping us get this off the ground. One important thing I want to say is that it was originally designed for younger students, and some of the people at Spring Bay were a little bit hesitant to unleash it on the high school students. And again, this was one of those things where I had to then convince somebody to just say yes and let us try it out. And so here is a video put together by a couple of our students on that experience. So let me share my screen here.
Hello, I'm so excited to today introduce you to the League for Green Leaders. This is established by Spring Bay Studios, who is based in Canada. Hello, I'm Andrew, and I'm so excited to today introduce you to the League for Green Leaders. This is established by Spring Bay Studios, who is based in Canada. And although these activities are primarily for elementary and middle school kids, I found that they're quite helpful and it's very worthwhile for discussion, even in a high school setting. The first thing I'd like to do is always track my daily usage on the outside.
Show me your screen.
Spring Bay Studio and the League for Green Leaders focuses primarily on small steps that students can take to be able to make their lives more green friendly and have a green thumb. This is an example of what it looks like after I fill it out once or twice. So let's say today I ate a little bit more meat than usual. And then I still took my car to school. That's the plan. And I had a recycling today. Today I recycled 2 cans. Found them on the lane. At least 10 papers. Maybe I found a glass bottles. I don't think I had any Coke bottles. I had 2 water bottles to recycle. And I have tried to reduce my use of plastic containers and also plastic straws. So these are very, very small choices that students can make to be able to make their lives not only a lot more healthier at times, but also a lot more environmentally friendly. These are all small activities and things that people can do very easily, especially for students, to inspire them to take climate action. So just through some of the things that I've recycled today, it doesn't about CO tracking, then perhaps they can figure out a plan to reduce their carbon dioxide emissions. Even more fun, you get to see how much carbon everyone around the world has saved, as well as the people have saved in the West. It looks like AJ's S is doing very, very well. Yeah, I'm so excited to show you all of this. I'm so glad that you're here to join me today.
All right. So that is sort of how it worked for the students. As you guys might notice, this is live and we're on a real school day. So one class left and another class is just coming in right now. They're doing their best to do that quietly so we can keep going. So I want to take you guys into one of the reflection pieces. So we do that part in the Spring Bay Studios. They do all the activities, tracking their CO2, managing what they're eating, how much public transportation they take, and things like that. And then they're going to make a reflection video here in Flip, and I'm going to show you 2 quick samples right now. Let me just get this set up here. So we're going to go to the Global Climate Exchange. Let me share my screen here for you all. As you can see here, we're going to look at the activity called Tracking Your CO2.
Hello, my name is Megan.
Sorry, we saw that already. Thank you for your patience. And so down here, one of the final weeks is track your CO2 activity and then do a reflection. So I think for our reflection, we're going to first hear from Jacob.
Hi, my name is Jacob, and for the past few days, I've been tracking my carbon dioxide emissions. Now, this experiment has been completely done through the Leaf for Green Meters website, in which you just kind of input a little bit of information every day, and it spits out how much carbon, well, how like larger carbon footprint is, and then also how much you've saved through the practices that you do, as compared to the normal person. Now, this was actually pretty fun for me. Going through and putting stuff in every day, it was kind of nice seeing the number go up, getting that little bit of gratification. And I also found myself doing little things to help like get that number higher. It's a kind of a goofy example, but one time I was like getting Starbucks during the span we were doing this, and I remember part of my decision making process of what drink to get was trying to get something that I wouldn't need to get a plastic straw for. Just so that I can kind of help make those little changes and get into the mindset of helping save. Now this is my tiles. It's a little bit of a sorry sight for a few reasons, including the fact that we started late. It seems like some days didn't save. I swear I filled it out for all the days that I was going in this week. And then also our content filter made it our district content filter made it so that I had to do it on mobile. So it's really kind of clipped and weird. But as you can see here, I was doing some stuff tracking along the days, making my carbon footprint go down.
Hi, my name is
Hi, my name is Jacob, and for the past.
All right. And if you can hear me, we're going to go ahead and listen to one more. I think we're going to go with, let's take a look here. Yassine.
Over the past week and a half, I've been tracking my carbon footprint, and overall, although it has been positive, I've noticed that there has been a prominent trend in my consumption of meat. For instance, I'm a medium meat eater, and I consume often, and I feel like this is one of the most, or the main reason why my um, carbon footprint is so high. So tracking my CO2 has allowed me to become more aware of the climate change situation, and because I'm a prominent meat eater, that's one of the main reasons why my carbon footprint might not decrease as much. So whenever you take these tests, your carbon footprint decreases based on your activity. So if I went in the car one day to school and the next day I walked to school, it would change my carbon footprint. However, throughout the days I've been eating the same amount of meat, so my climate or my carbon footprint has not decreased that much. And because the meat industry is one of the leading factors in climate change, I realized that I should start in taking less meat so I could help reduce my carbon footprint. Um, so another thing that I've done to help my carbon footprint was recycle more and also take more public transit. For instance, I started walking to school more often and also taking the public bus. And I also stopped using a lot of plastic water bottles and changed to reusable water bottles.
Hi guys.
Over the past week and a half, I've been
Oh.
tracking my carbon footprint and overall.
All right. So, lastly, we didn't end it there. And I know a lot of schools might, and for maybe younger grades, that might be a good final project. But as a high school class, we took it to another level in groups. They wanted to make a video that was expressing things that they can do that they learned. So they're applying what they learned. And so I'm going to share real quick one last video, and then live we're going to interview 3 students, and they're going to talk about their experience here with that. So give me just 3 more minutes, Mary Alice, and then we will get to interviewing the students here. Let's see here. Let me make sure I'm. Here we go. Let's see here.
The way we can reduce greenhouse gas emissions is by using less energy, and what both me and Jacob agreed on is that we can reduce energy by by turning off the lights in our house, because energy supply sectors account for 35% of the greenhouse emissions, which is one of the largest contributors.
Where we live, which is in Southern California, about 66% of our emissions come from non-renewable sources, which means that during peak hours of the day, we emit about 13,500 tons of CO2 into the atmosphere just on our energy uses.
They are representatives of our will as people, so they're the ones who can begin to put projects forward. Asking politicians to focus on water preservation, new infrastructure and energy, and the preservation of natural areas is a great way to help with climate change. Even if you don't have the money to act or can't help yourself, asking your politicians is a great way to deal with climate issues.
So recycling is really important because it helps reduce pollution, conserve energy, reduce the need of new raw materials, and it just keeps our environment clean. And believe it or not, but plastic alone itself generated 1.8 billion metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions in 2019. So basically what that means is that every 1 ton of plastic in landfills that are wasted release 3 tons of carbon dioxide, equivalent to greenhouse gas emissions.
My name is Marcus, and as you can see, these are some bikes here. One way we can combat climate change is by using different modes of transportation and not use so many fossil fuels every day.
A study conducted by UCLA states that using public transportation reduces CO2 emissions by 45%. In fact, with public transportation available here in the US, we save 37 million metric tons of carbon dioxide annually. You talk so much about helping climate change, but what are you doing to help climate change?
Okay, so what I would do is I'll start by eating less meat, because meat production accounts for 57% of global gas emissions from the entire world. And it also tied to 1.1 tons of carbon dioxide, and that's not healthy for our planet. So by me eating less meat, it will contribute less. So what I can do is first I'll start by substituting most of my meat options for tofu, and then I will slowly stop to eat any meat products that the school offers.
Mary Alice, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, here she comes. Wave back.
In fact, I've pulled both of us up here because I know that
Well, folks that are listening, while we wait for our host, we have 3 students here, right? Megan, Andrew, and Julie. They're going to be talking about their experience here and why it's been super helpful. We'll just give them a second here.
we're here.
Just to save on the delay, why don't we just go ahead and start? I'll ask you, Megan. Megan.
I think you shut off the microphone instead of keeping it open, so you want to keep that on.
And you know, I'm afraid that he can't hear us, because did you hear how he said, wait till the hosts come on?
Yes, I'm thinking he can't hear us.
I
Move
wonder
the
if they can see
microphone.
us
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. 'Cause she's
Lori.
definitely talking. We can't hear her.
It shows that we
Oh,
can
there we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
because we can use our resources and make great changes. However, many do not realize the environmental costs of these actions. For instance, the biggest contributor to CO2 emissions is burning fossil fuels, and we do that on a daily because we must use cars, we use light, and we burn heat. And this increase in CO2 has evidently made the world warmer, and we see that through the increase of forest fires and the Arctic melting. So this air pollution not only affects us, but it affects animals and even plant life as well. So that's why I believe learning about the environment is important, because although we as ordinary citizens cannot make macro changes such as businesses and industries can do, we can learn to lessen CO2 through small changes such as eating less meat and using less power and even riding a bike. So these small changes in life will contribute to sustaining the environment so that all life can thrive safely.
All right, thank you, Megan. Andrew, why don't you talk about how you applied what you learned from Stringberry from our non-sciencey class to one of your science classes?
Yes, of course. So I used the ideas that we learned from the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, in combination with our climate project, and actually used them to create a project for equity, it was called, for the MESA competition, that is mathematics, engineering, science, and achievement. So the specific part that I competed in was called the National Engineering and Design Competition. And a part of this, and I realized that they put this on recently, was they added sustainable development goals to many engineering competitions, to many think tanks and innovation competitions, even Samsung Solve. So all of these big name competitions and all of these places where students are able to have a voice, all of a sudden SDGs are included as a way to be able to communicate very clearly and effectively the change we want to make in the world. For me, I used SDGs number 3 and number 9, that is good health and infrastructure, as well as lowering carbon emissions in general, to make a smart IV pump. That is, if you've ever seen a saline drip go into someone's arm, we made a very smart and easy way for doctors to manage that across the world.
All right, thank you. And then Julie, you were sharing with me a couple of weeks ago that this inspired you to maybe take your learning on the environment to another level. Go ahead and sort of elaborate for everybody on that.
So this activity really expanded my passions for global health and understanding the relationship with the environment as well as our well-being. And using this activity, I used it as a stepping stool to apply to other programs, that being the Johns Hopkins Global Health Leaders Conference, which is a program that gives students a unique platform to talk about global health issues, which ranges from poverty or inaccess to healthcare. It really emphasizes on how we need to create equity within healthcare for all people, regardless of barriers, economic barriers. And in this activity, I learned a lot about SDGs and environmental issues along with sustainable solutions. And when I was researching these SDGs, I applied it to my learning of global health issues. I really enjoyed having a platform talking about issues and collaborating with other people. And I know that this program will also have these same aspects where I get to collaborate with people internationally, hearing from different perspectives, and fostering something really important called global citizenship, where we talk to people that is not just from our community, but also talking to people from other areas so we can hear their beliefs, cultures, and different ways of thinking. So it really made me realize the urgency of taking action with people and collaborating to come to an understanding of how we can fight a common issue, that being climate change or other things surrounding the world.
Sorry about all the tech issues, everybody. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Not sure what we can do here to wrap it up. I'm not sure if I can hear you or not. So I think what we're going to do is just sign off. We are very proud to be at this school and be at this district. I'm proud of these kids. I can see you. Can I hear you?
I don't know. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yay!
Okay. Lori, what is your takeaway? Because I'm blown away. I'm like,
I know, I am too. Everyone was so well spoken. They had such great ideas. They really thought about the start small to make the big
I can't
impact. Right,
hear
start
Lori,
tomorrow.
but I can hear you. I think
Oh,
she'll come up here in a sec.
okay.
Just from art. Just from
Oh,
ours.
there may be a delay. Yeah. Well, great job, everyone. I thought you all did a fantastic job sharing your
But
passions.
ultimately, while we're waiting for Lori to come up, I just want to say, just remind everybody, just say yes, first of all. Second of all, Mary Alice, people our age are not going to save the planet. We've been waiting and waiting, and we can't keep waiting. We can ask them to, we can encourage them to, but I just think that these kids are going to have to, not have to, they want to, and they already are pushing us to do more. So we have to combine their enthusiasm, their urgency for them, and our power, our influence, our connections, and really do better. But starting to do better means informing this younger group to then move forward and start nudging, or eventually, when they have the power and influence, to really just fix what we've been breaking. And it's sad, but it's true, and we have to do better.
Oh, we have to do better. And your students were inspiring. This is what we want to encourage all classrooms to look like. And in the backstage right now, we have young learners in Canada who are about to join us for our next session. And I hope that your high school students could possibly stay on and root them on, because you were right. The change isn't going to happen from anybody like us, Mr. Silva. It's going to come from our young people. And today we get to witness it in action. So thank you so much from the bottom of our heart for always being willing to be a learner alongside your students.
All right. Thank you for having us. It was great to see you again. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Okay, now Lori, I can hear you perfect. So
good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you can hear me.
So we're calling up Mrs. Bennett, and by